Coming to you from the TLD studios in Temecula, California, it's the Whiskey Throttle Show, taking you deep inside the lives of the legends and leaders of our sport. This week's guest is brought to you by Yamaha, the leaders in the power sports industry. Motocross bikes, street bikes, adventure bikes, side-by-sides, quads, boats, generators. Yamaha sets the standard. Yamaha revs your heart. Method Race Wheels, the strongest, lightest, fastest wheels in off-road. Method dominates the off-road market with wheels for your truck, sprinter, Jeep, or UTV. Go to methodracewheels.com/whiskey throttle for 20% off your order. Troy Lee Designs, built for the world's fastest racers. TLD blends elite level protection with industry-leading style and performance. Moto, bike, helmet paint, casual wear, whatever your passion, Troy Lee Designs is waiting for you on the next level. Nihilo Concepts, enhance your riding experience with superior products like the Start-Stop Conversion Kit, Fuel Petcocks, Frame Grip Tape, Lever Grip, Grip Donuts, Secondary On Switch, Billet Foot Pegs, Billet Throttle Housings, and so much more. Nihilo Concepts produces exceptional products, all of which are made right here in America. And by SKDA. SKDA is the ultimate destination for exceptional motocross graphics, customer service, and artistic excellence. Trust them to elevate your ride and showcase your individuality on the track, making every ride an exceptional experience. Hey folks, welcome to the Whiskey Throttle Show. I'm your host, David Pingree, and we are here just outside of Farleigh Castle here in the UK at the MX Vice Studios. They were kind enough to let us use their podcast space to interview this guy, one of only 3 British 500 world champions ever. That will be a record that doesn't ever change. The guy they call Rolls Noyce, Graham Cracker. It's Graham Noyce. Buddy, welcome to the show. Okay, have you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's tough getting you guys over to the U.S. I know you're probably not spending a whole lot of time in Southern California, so just awesome that we could get together. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. We start our shows with the Method Race Wheels front end chatter, guys. They're the lightest, strongest, fastest wheels in off-road racing, so check them out if you're in the market for your truck, van, sprinter, whatever, UTV. methodracewheels.com/whiskey throttle. Get 20% off. Check those guys out. They do great stuff. So, Graham, start by telling me a little bit about moto in the UK and growing up here and maybe some of the advantages or disadvantages of that.
My son, I think we're very, very lucky over here at the moment because we've got some fantastic schoolboy stuff, which obviously starts at a younger age, 6 years old. Then you can go through into different clubs, which we've got some very good clubs over here in the UK. And you got to build on that, obviously, but we're struggling a little bit at this point in time. So, but we can still do it, I think.
I feel like at least in Europe, just all of Europe in general, I think is doing a better job of building amateur riders now than we are in the US. And I'm curious on I don't know how we fix it, but I feel like our people aren't racing enough. And you maybe mentioned that, but it seems like you guys have like a good local club series and that breeds into a national series. And I don't know, maybe a better program.
Yeah, I think also, but the tracks make a big difference. I think when I spoke to Roger the other day, and he said, why are the riders getting injured? In America, he said, Graham, he said, it's so fast. It is unbelievable, which obviously it is. You look at their tracks, they're big. Outdoor tracks are quick. Right? Yeah. So they're going to get hurt when they go upside down because it's very, very bad. But I think we've got some quick tracks over here as well, obviously, but they're not up in the air, which is ridiculous. But I think we're producing better tracks. That is to say, we're not, like we just said, up in the air ain't no good.
Yeah, well, that's when most of the injuries happen, right? Coming down. You follow the British motocross scene pretty closely. Anybody coming up here that represent UK well in the future?
We've got some good riders. I can't name actual person, but there's some good riders out there. Hopefully they'll pull through, but they've got to buckle down, obviously, get back to the basics of it. Because this is what I think has gone wrong personally is they've got all the big flash motorhome, and they've got all the pretty girlfriend and everything else. But if you got back to basics, and realize you're there for the racing, all the posing sort of stuff, I think that's what the biggest thing going to happen.
Well, I think that's happening everywhere. Hey, folks, check out whiskeythrottlemedia.com if you're looking for bike test content, interviews, off-road stuff. We've got it all. Merch over there. We've got all kinds of stuff, so check it out. Our guest story is brought to you by Yamaha. Let's get to it. Tell us about where you grew up. What's it like there in that little sleepy English town?
Little village called Fair Oak, about 2 hours from here. And so, it's a fine little place. It's about 2 hours from Dover, so going on the boat, we got a 2 hour drive, but which I did many times. But it's not a bad little place.
You still live in the same place you grew up, same area?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're about 2 miles down the road at this point in time. Yeah.
Huh. And was it a lot different back then? I guess this country is so much older than ours. I look at like riding in the 70s and 80s. California was empty. You could just take off into the hills everywhere. Well, now it's all covered in houses. But I guess the land here was already kind of divided up and spoken for well before the 70s. So has it really changed much? Or you really got to be on either somebody's private land or a built track, huh?
Yes, we do. We can't just go out and ride anywhere. I mean, it has to be where there's some good tracks over here, obviously. Some good practice tracks. But then they're all doing this silly, we got grade in it. Why are we doing what? I mean, I think got that in America as well, but why do you want to grade it all the time? It just ride as is. I mean, you learn more, and the natural stuff's the best stuff you can do. I mean, grading all the time, you never go down the motorway. Ridiculous.
Yeah. We've got this thing too right now going on at home where we're building berms around the outside of every corner, like plowing up a berm. I'm thinking what is that? Usually you just rip the track or, groom it and let it develop and you build your own ruts and berms. We're building it like a video game. It's kind of what it looks like.
Very true. I mean, they're building it just to suit certain riders and the certain track bikes as well, because it's a shame, but why? I mean, just leave as it is. I mean, what I can't understand also the Grand Prix at this point in time is that they will blow it all up or rip it or whatever they call it, and then they'll water it, and then of course you have lots and lots of ruts, and then I mean, that to me is not racing. I mean, then you're going to get follow the leader and all the ruts. I mean, why do it? I mean, then they don't flatten it before the first race. Whatever, so it's ridiculous. I mean, like in Switzerland this year, you've got like a Saturday practice and a Sunday a day off, and Monday race. So they've got a day off when you level the track. But that's all over the world, not just here, over here.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Some of it's gotten better, but I think we've gone backwards in some places. You had a couple of siblings, you said? 2 sisters?
Yes, I do.
And one of them rode a little bit, you said?
Yeah, Joanne, she the eldest one, she rode a fair bit. She was a good kid. She rode the bike very, very well, actually. She was aggressive and one other go at it, but she was good. But, a girl's so they develop things differently than what boys do, so they have to stop. So, but no, I think she had a good crack at it.
And then, what did you do as a kid before you got into dirt bikes? What was taking up your time? Football. Everybody plays football, right?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I don't. I don't like football at all, really. To be honest with you, but that is. I mean, yeah, you play when you're at school, but I'd rather play rugby. We played rugby and football all the time, obviously. Tennis, but my main thing was just on the bike all the time.
And when you got your first bike, how old were you? About 6?
I was 6, yeah.
And what was that first machine?
BSA Bantam 125.
Okay. Oh, 125 were you at 6? Were you a tall guy, tall kid?
Well, it's a small bike, so okay, suspension, so that's right. But it's hard to ride.
And you just rode for a while. You rode for fun, right? You didn't race right away.
Well, no, I had a funny bad about bike because my mum and dad, they loved to go watch motocross, which I went to obviously watch. And then my dad said one day, I'm going to watch a race in Denver Corsham. and see the school we racing. So he said, see what we can do. So Dad went down on his own. I didn't go with him. And he come back and said, yeah, he said, Dad, that's pretty good. He said, we're trying to get your bike and see if you can go and join the club and see what happens. So that's really what did it.
And you raced on that ESA?
Cost £5.
£5?
That's just exactly right, yeah. No suspension, but that's what you got to do.
Gosh, I don't know what that would equate to today, but inflation doesn't. You still can't buy a bike for whatever that would.
No, yeah, I think the second one we bought, I think it was like £30, and then they were discussing my one day, but it got to £60. But that was a friend of mine's bike. But that's the way it just builds, doesn't it? Yeah. You spend more and more money, yeah. But yeah.
So you remember your first race? You were tell me, where was this at?
In Reading, funny enough, yeah.
Reading, yeah.
Yeah, there's a pub up there, and I had 3 third places on the first day. So
yeah, that's
very, very lucky. But
were you surprised by that, or was your dad surprised? I guess.
Yeah, I think we all were.
Yeah,
but it was good. Yeah, we were surprised.
So right away you were like, okay, I've got something here.
No, you can't say that. I mean, enjoyed what I'd done. I mean,
Enjoyed it.
I love riding the bike. And it's very, very good. And you met a lot of different people and saw different things. But it was good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, you chat. Where you go.
And then what was the amateur scene like here back then? This is very early in the sport. Was there a developed series of races for you guys, or was it just random scrambles here and there? What was there?
I used to just random scrambles. I mean, all the clubs had different. I just Ringwood Club, the Reading Club, and then the Caution Club. They're the 3 biggest clubs in the Hampshire area, who had a real good club which you could join. So yeah, but they put a good show.
So each club would have their own few events, and you kind of hit all those.
Yes.
And you said you grew up racing with David Thorpe as well. He was a little younger than you, but kind of in the same schoolboy class.
Yeah, Dave was there. I was there, number 32. I was, or 32, I think it was, yeah. He was in the same meetings I was at, but in the lower, smaller class, the English class, I was like, yeah, Dave was there, yeah.
And Hudgens as well. He was further east of here?
Neil Hudson, he was in the West Country.
Oh, West, okay.
So, yeah. Not far from me.
So was there big amateur events where you guys would get together, all 3 of you would race together? Did that ever happen?
Well, yeah, there was races where me and Neil been at it for a whole racing career, basically. Yeah. And we've had some fantastic races. Yeah, Neil's brilliant. So we've grown up together since we're like 6 or 7 years old. So yeah, cool.
That's great. Well, I guess I should clarify. Those are the 3 British 500 world champions. Right, yourself, Neil, and David. Right,
Neil was 2.
Oh, Neil was 2.
Sorry, big one. Yeah,
who's the third? Jeff Smith. Jeff Smith. That's who it was. Now, and he was older than you guys.
Yeah.
Jeff Smith. Okay. So take me through kind of as your amateur career is going on. Where was there a point where you kind of had a breakthrough? You started.
Okay. Well, I was very, very well. Obviously, I was lucky to meet up with the Redmond brothers. There was a Don and Derek Redmond down in New Milton, which is like say 45 minutes from my house. So I used to catch a train down every morning, get a bicycle, ride that from there, train station to work, come back and then come back home. And then, yeah, I was very, very lucky to be up with them. I mean, they were brilliant. So yeah, so I had a great time down there. They looked after me really, really, really well.
And you think that was a transition point for you where you kind of...
They steered me in the right direction. So yeah, it was very, very good. Very lucky.
Did they help you with riding? Like they were kind of coaching you or more just support? And
Rick Lloyd, who was one of the main salesmen down there, he's a very good friend of mine. I said the other day, funny enough, he was more on he helped me out a lot on the coaching side sort of thing. Okay, but there's some brilliant people down there. I mean, those of them. So yes, we had a good team down there, and I was lucky to be. I was starting off in the tour room, and then I went into the development room. So yes, that was good times.
So tell me about that. How that happened. you dropped out of school at 15, right? And went to work. And you you were getting a train, riding a bike to this place at 15. What were you doing there? Were you welding? Were you working on?
Well, I should have been in the tool room, but I was basically talking to a lot of people, because there's so many people in that factory that would racing or done trials, or have done grass cycle, where we've done all sorts, done something. So I should have been in the tool room. I did get in there sometimes and do a bit of welding. Yeah, well, actually, I did go on a welding course for 5 years, which was quite good.
So what were you mostly doing in there?
Skiving. No, I was trying to. I was on the shape or doing something with it. I was on the lathe. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, just all kinds of machining. It's all.
Oh yeah.
And then for the folks that don't know Rickman very well, there's they were building frames, and you'd pull other different engines and drop it in, and they would kind of build you a custom bike, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, luckily I rode the 125 and done that, which I did ride for a long time, and then we had the 251 Tesla, Rickman, which was very, very good. It's a quick bike that was, and then I wasn't quick enough for what I want to go in the 500. So then we did. I knew the gentleman called Harold Wakefield is a big motocross supporter. He's sponsored a lot of riders through the years. He's sort of done up to Don and Derek. He's done Jeff Smith, Dave Bickers, that sort of people. And I know, and he goes to Don again. So he said, "You better get Graham in the hustle on." So he bought me a 460 house van, which was a very, very good bug at the time. So then we took the engine out of frame, the engine out of that, and I built a frame to take that engine. So then we made a bike from that.
That was a good bike, huh?
That's okay.
Well, that was just okay.
Yeah, but that was so it was good. It was brilliant. I mean, we were messing about with suspension at the time, because there's a big transition when it was going from 4 inches of travel up to 10.5, 11 inches of travel in it. So we were doing it, and I was we were doing development with the shocks and everything, but we were blowing the shocks and the rubbers in the shocks and all sorts every races. But we were doing a lot of development, but it's good fun.
Huh. And I don't know that people know this or not, but Don's wife was a French gal. She actually came up with the name Matisse, the Rickman Matisse, which is one of their famous models. Matisse means mongrel dog in French. So they were asking what makes this bike up, and they're like, it's just a mongrel. It's all kinds of different parts. And so that's how we got the name Matisse. I thought that was interesting. So at what point did you start kind of winning everything or being really competitive in the UK? Was it during that time when you were there with them?
You don't win everything, but you can win a lot.
Yeah.
I did a lot of success with them. And I was making a lot of progress. That was the biggest thing. I think that's a great. I made a lot of progress with the Rickman brothers. They were fantastic. So, like I said, they steered me in the right direction, which is very, very good. Yeah, it's good. So,
and your high school teacher or guidance counselor didn't think you were going to amount to much. Did I get that right? What did they call you?
Grubby-handed little boy.
She said
when I left school, she said, "You're going to be nothing else but grubby-handed little boy." So as I stuck my fingers up, went at the rim, I said, "Thank you, bye-bye."
Oh, here's a grubby finger. See you later. Oh, that's good. I love hearing stories like that.
She didn't.
I doubt she did. Okay, so kind of when you were with those guys, you were picking up things here. 73 was your first GP?
And we're back a long way now.
Yeah, I know we are.
73. I think it was about right, yeah. Okay. 73, 74.
And did you start with the 125 races, or were you jumping right into big bike?
No, I didn't. I did as many 125 races as I could, but the first Grand Prix I done was 73, yes. Was on the Mako. I'll just go back to the Rickman stuff. So I'd done a lot with the Rickman brothers. So, and And then it was only because Brian Goss, the maker and porter, poached me and kept on that, this guy's been going to do pretty good. So Brian was on the phone and all that what for. Brian was a very, very good sponsor. He's a maker and porter. And he poached me from Richmond, actually. So, yeah.
Okay. You were with him for a while.
Brian, yeah.
So take us through those first couple years. You did really well pretty quickly in the Grand Prix series.
Yeah, I was very, very lucky. When I was with Maker, they got me a ride in at Bilstein, Germany, and look, it was a lucky ride basically on the Maker, and I remember I had a Morris minor pickup, and I loaded all the bike up, I'd done everything, put it all in there, right? My cousin was my mechanic, so we went from my house down to Vic Eastwood's, a very good friend of mine. And Vic obviously helped me out and took me over to the Grand Prix. Because I mean, I had no idea what to do, where to go, but because he was a full-on Grand Prix rider, he helped me out a lot. So, and then I got to Vic's house, and I went, oh, well, I remember no passport. And I thought, you after idiot. So, and I thought, I can't. I said, well, you have to go on. Right, you come. I said, no. So, man, next voice, he goes, oh, no, we'll get Dennis's passport, right? I thought he's dead now, right? He's a very, very good friend. When Dennis, so we got Dennis's passport, right? So, I only got a camper. So, I basically had to lie down on the back. And I was asleep all the way over there. We got through into Germany, met with on a fake passport. So, and then I got there, and then luckily, the track suited me, and I went to the bike, and I was going, wow, yeah. And in the end, I got third overall. I don't know how I've done that, but it's very, very, very lucky.
Yeah, that's crazy, especially 500 GP.
Yeah, I mean, there was Roger on the podium, who, I mean, just to shake his hand, it's a big bonus in it. So, Roger's a fantastic man, and I think Willie Barrow was on there. I was
and you were you were probably looking up to a lot of these guys, right? I mean,
of course, yeah. I mean, their ride was on. So, these guys are the best.
Did you beat anybody that I'm sure you beat some guys who you looked up to. These are, you're not idols, but
Of course, yeah. But yeah, you do. But it takes time. I mean, you just don't go wish, but you can. And I've had it go in luckily. I mean, in that Grand Prix, obviously I did some big guys, but there's some fantastic riders there. I mean,
Oh, of course, but that's a hell of a start.
It was very big.
And people don't. At least not that I see a lot. People just don't jump into the premier class and podium their first one. So
no, I was very lucky, but it worked out well for me. And of course, Maker were happy. Ryan was he was doing cartwheels and jumping up, he was up and down. He was over the moon, and it was all going well. But good.
All right, so you didn't do the whole series that year. You kind of just did a few. How did the others go?
Okay, I think I might have done Luxembourg. I did Luxembourg after that. I did Luxembourg. I think it was the only one I did do. But it was very lucky.
Went okay at Luxembourg, or how'd that go?
Well, no, this is funny because I walked the track with Vicky. So funny enough, and walking this place, it's not going off as affordable, is it? Because it's the track. I mean, this is narrow because yes, this is where the back this was. And then so anyway, we walked the track, and I thought, okay, fair enough. So that's it. Then the first race, I did. And then you turn down, up across a big bank, long fill flat out. And I got it all wrong, and I went ren, right? And the bike was bent. So the back end of the bike was down, and over to the left, and it was a mess. The frame was like just bent. So then I get back in the pits, and this guy goes out of the way. So I was this bloke. So anyway, it was Dennis, right? The guy who borrowed his passport. So, but he was very, very good and done a fantastic job. So he's there with another friend of mine, and they took the seat off, got a big bit above that one, straight in the front.
GR and bell.
Oh, they straight in the front up, yeah. And because they are, they stop crying there, get back on the bike. So, off I went, and I got third in the second race. So, all
God dang.
right.
That's impressive. So those are the only 2 GPs you did that year. You're with your Mako distributor who helped you out for a long time.
Right, yeah. Whatever.
What about 74? What did you do the following year?
We carried on with the Mako. So, I guess it's
And were you 500 class the whole year? Yeah.
I did like the 250. Oh, I did like the 250 at all. The 250 did like me. And that's the 500 I did like. So yeah, it suited me. And that's why I stuck with them. I was just happy with that.
Yeah.
So.
How did that 74 season go? You remember? You didn't do the whole series, right? 74 years.
No. Yeah. That's up and down. I mean, you go to fight to get in the Grand Prix then was very difficult. Was easier then, I suppose, but it is now because you've got to pay a lot of money. But it's to do it, it's still going to cost a lot of money. But I got lucky. I got away with it. There were a couple then again. I mean, 74, I done an English one, but 74 was okay.
Okay.
Right.
So were you still working at Rickman during this time?
No, I left.
Oh, you were.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, that's right. So were you just racing, or were you working somewhere else?
No, it's just working.
All right. So then rolling into 75, you actually led the British GP at Hawkstone.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, yes, you get a fantastic venue, which Hawkstone is. We've taken the car and trailer and nothing else, but there goes. Yeah. So but they Camel responds on the Grand Prix at times. So they give out a load of little hats, right? So you've got say 30,000 people there, and it was big, it was good, and the Hawkstone's a big track. And I took the start, and how I do not know, but I've been always what constantly starts a lot. So yes, off I went, really, really good, and you get the pit board, Roger, hike you, and I thought, yeah, okay, I'm waiting. I know you're going to pass me. I mean, I wasn't fit because I was sad and young for, but I hadn't done that enough work as I should have done. And I knew they were coming, and I got exhausted as I did, and then I get past. I think, yeah, but they're an awful lot short in that one, but it's still up there. I'm not doing too bad, but I do remember at Heike's mechanic. I seen him many years after that, but he said, we didn't know who you were. Look at the programs, look at your number. He said, they get your name to put on the board for a Heike run. I said, well, it didn't make that difference. I said, you really buy me, but yeah, it's a funny old thing. I enjoyed it.
Did you learn something from that? Like, being the first time you'd led a GP, you get more comfortable being up there, kind of like, okay, I belong, each time a little bit. Were you spotting those two? Did you run their pace for a while and then they only caught you when you got tired? Or?
Yeah, of course. I mean, but you try to stick with those two guys. I mean, whatever. But the best thing I learned that day was I trained more, so get more work with my biking. Right.
And those two guys didn't get tired ever.
They were going that way out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that was 75. Did you do more GPs that year after Hawkstone? Or was that? Did you do that season?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
So what race were you doing? Like British National Championships, or what were you doing? What racing?
Yeah, we're doing the British Championship, which is British Championship. But I want to get away to the big internationals over in Belgium, which is like the pinnacle of motocross at that time. I mean, that's where everybody come from. Joel, Roger, they all come from there. So that's where you want to get away to, and that's what I want to do.
Okay. When did you move over there?
Slower.
Okay. About that time?
Yeah.
Okay. You're still with your Mako importer at this point. So what about the following year, 76? You your progression was good. I mean, you started with podiums, but by 76, you got you won your first moto win at the British GP there, right?
Yeah.
Take me through that season, because you did have like this nice progression every year. It seemed like you were learning or gaining something.
Yeah, we were going well. I mean, luckily it was going good for me. Donington Park was a fantastic track, great place. And got there, and the first time the Honda been there, rode the Grand Prix. Pierre Kazmakers rode the Honda for him, and he led it. I was second. I mean, of course, you can imagine that people was going loopy. It was about 35. But they brought down and going. I mean, there's an English guy up the front or near the front, so I was there. And then you had like this 3 steps down towards the pits, near the finish, and I was right by Pierre, and as he jumped, his rear spring broke off the shock and come past me, or about an inch. Very, very lucky it didn't hit my head.
That doesn't happen. That seems crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I suppose that they were just testing different shocks or different things or different positions with, where different track links to travel, and they were all doing that time, so it made a big difference. So, yeah.
So you got your first moto win. What was that like?
Difficult. But it was okay, but
wow,
nice. People going loopy, and I just wanted some help as to where I was on the track and that sort of stuff. And my main my sponsor was Brian Goss, who was the importer, and so he was on the pit board that day. So I've come through that, and I'm in the lead, and what you want is who's behind you and how far you in the lead and everything else, right? And then Brian throws on the board a dick and a pair of buttocks, hands it out, and I think, thank you very much. Oh, now I'm laughing for like 3/4 of a lap, and I thought, right, I'll pull this together. But yeah, it was very, very funny, and a lot of people did see it as well, but I've told the story a few times.
Is there any photos of that? It'd be a great picture of you coming by your...
Would, yeah, but I mean, you got to get yourself back together, and I was laughing so much, and I thought, please pull it together for this next time, Brian, and he did, but it was hilarious.
So you won the first moto. How'd the second moto go?
Terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, well, I got away pretty good, but I'm up the hill. My dad was Adolf hit my back wheel, just clipped it all. Was bent arbor, we just clipped it all. Just clipped the back wheel, and I went sideways and bent in the red, and I broke my coccyx on the back. So yeah, that was the end of that.
Did that put you out for a while then? Can't ride with a broken coccyx. Tell me about those guys. I don't know. I know Roger a bit, but I don't know Heikki Mikkola. A lot of these guys you were racing with, even Carlquist, but they look like big, kind of intimidating, burly guys. Was that how they were off the track? I mean, I know they weren't going to try to be too nice out on the track, but were they good guys off the track? Were they like that?
They talked to me, so very, very nice. I mean, yes. We got friendly with a few of them, and if you do, they don't want to get too friendly, do they? Because if you're going to be beaten, make that sort of basically. But they're okay.
All right. Heikki just seems like he'd rip your head off. That's just the way he looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a man of his own. Roger looked like an accountant or something. He came to the track with a suit on, basically, and he put a set of riding gear on. He could win the Grand Prix. I mean, he never was looking at the start line. He was never saw Roger walking about. Roger kept himself to himself. That was it. But I mean, Oishi was okay. He was always there on a tear up, but Roger just kept himself to himself. It's quite funny.
All right. So take us through that season. You have, like I said, you broke through with a moto win. Get hurt a little bit. You got approached by Honda at this point and turned down a ride with factory Honda. I'm curious why.
It wasn't, I did not Honda or nothing like that. It's just I had been riding the Mako, and it worked out well for me, and I was riding it, and suited me. So I had a good relationship with the importer, and we were going well. I thought we were going to go places, well, we did. And then we won a lot of stuff, a lot of races. Good. So I did say, which, after you think, was that the right thing to do or not? Because they're a big company.
Was there money involved? I mean, decent money to sign with them? And you weren't making much at Mako.
No, the riding was the biggest thing for me. So, I mean, the money's that side. I mean, if you don't win, you got nothing. So money's the biggest thing.
You felt like staying on the Mako was your best move for you, results-wise. Yeah. Okay, so 77, stayed on that Mako, and there's still no factory help. This is still just your importer buddy.
Yeah. But we had a good relationship because all the shops in every country just opened the doors. I could go in and take what I wanted. So they made it easier. The exhaust pipes, that sort of stuff, which we got done every time, many times. So I could go get the pipes, the wheels, and whatever. So, I mean, I use a factory. I mean, every bike's a factory bike because it comes out of the factory. But, it's where you just get spokes are bigger or something, wheels are stronger. Apart from that, not a lot, really.
Yeah.
It was easier for me to do it this way.
What did it look like back then, too? This is something that this era, I really like the look of this era because there wasn't all these fancy rigs and all the, just all the bullshit. It was like you guys in a pickup truck or a little teeny van, on a wood block or a milk crate for a stand, and you're laying in the grass between motos. Like, it was just sort of motocross at its purest form.
Yes. I mean, the luck, people do say it, and I do agree with them. I mean, I was around the right time that rode motocross. I mean, we met some really fantastic people and rode with some great guys, and, I'm very, very fortunate to do that. I mean, now it doesn't look the same. It was great.
Yeah. It's like, I always say, it's nice to see the guys get paid, and I think they're earning it. It is a lot of work and a lot of risk, but you definitely just has a different feel. There was a really cool camaraderie and I don't know, pureness to it. I guess that's the best way I can say.
Yes. I mean, but that's it. The more is at stake, the more harder to get it. So obviously there wasn't so much money involved with it then, so it didn't make no difference. I mean, obviously there's more money involved with it now, so that's what triggers it.
Yeah.
Problem, but well, not problem, but it makes it more. Then, I mean, we had barbecues together. We've done all sorts of things. So it's fun.
And like you said, you guys weren't really even thinking about the money probably too much because there wasn't so much money to have. So I feel like you guys had more fun. You weren't afraid to go out and have some drinks and after the race and, I don't know, enjoy what you guys were doing, right?
Yeah, we had a few of them. As you do.
All right, take me into 78 then. This time, on end of 77, Honda comes back and makes you another offer. This time you say yes.
Yeah, Steve Whitlock come back to me again. Said, right, would you please reconsider it? We got someone that's over Honda again because I said, an hour or so, I went away. Got to mum and dad and come back. And I said, we had a deal.
And who did they have riding for me year before?
Yeah, but they bought him over, but then they got Brad as well.
Okay, so Brad came on with you in 78. And then was Pierre still there or he was gone?
Yeah, gone. He went back to America.
Okay. Yeah, that's how.
To be honest with you, they bought Pierre just over that Grand Prix, just to get the bike sorted or do something. I'm not quite sure, but we needed to be a good test ride, I think, for them originally, and he did a good job, but he wasn't doing the Grand Prix stuff.
So when you got on the Honda, what was your opinion of that bike versus the KTM you'd been riding?
like it.
What was better? What was worse about the Honda?
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't a very good start. A lot of change all. It was the one thing. I mean, I think it was riding harder than anything else, or maybe it was riding. I mean, my style was different. I don't know why, but well, you couldn't blame the mechanic because obviously they're doing their best. You know, you couldn't blame the factory, but the chain was off, the throttle come off, and that it's just weird and wonderful, stupid things, you know.
And you said like that. I think Brad, when he was on the show, mentioned this, and I didn't tie it together, but he said that you were throwing chains all the time, but his bike wasn't.
Yeah.
Did you ride maybe more aggressively, or he was smoother, or like, what do you think? What the hell was causing that?
I think personally it was a style.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. Because I think mine always come up in the corner, right? Where there's a lot, and I think there's a bit more deeper rut or something. But it would throw it off. Red, I mean, I don't know what it was doing, maybe standing up a bit further or something. But mine was definitely jumping off quite a lot. But
You like get into a rut or something, and that way it would pop out there, or what was it?
you know, then a straight or something, just
Weird spots.
or just on it. Yeah.
That's strange. And you and Brad knew each other prior to becoming teammates. But you got pretty close during this time, huh?
Yeah, well, we did meet up many years ago. Yeah, we're this champions training camp
Okay.
in Sweden, which was very, very funny. But yeah, Brad was up there. Our training up there was good, actually.
Okay. Champion Spark Plugs Trading. Never heard of it. Like a preseason training camp type thing?
Yeah, they done a special thing. Good. Yeah, Brad did it. Well, it was that Husqvarna big pointer. It was Husqvarna.
Okay.
Bigger pointer. Sorry. No, it's not sorry, because I rode a Husqvarna previous to that.
Okay.
We trained down from the
From the Mako to the Honda.
yeah.
Was this where I've seen pictures like where you guys are on each other's backs running in the gym? Is that one? That's the same thing.
Yeah, we had a good old terror. Yeah, it's good fun.
All right. But you and Brad got to be pretty close buddies this year. Traveled
Yep.
together, trained together, rode together.
Yeah, we've done a fair bit. Yeah, we went to Japan, and then but Brad always kept his distance, so which wasn't a problem. So that was good. I mean, I knew I didn't know what to do, but it's a new thing. And when we met up, we were friends, and of course we got to be friends. It's so important when you're riding the same teams.
Spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get back to some more Brad Lackey stories later. How did that 78 season go? Frustrating. I know you were throwing a lot of chains. But you remember, was there highlights, lowlights?
It was. I knew the bike was good, but it just wasn't coming right. You know, so we had to fight through it. And I thought, when I was this middle part of 78, in the middle, I said to my mum, I said, "I'm going to buy a Mako." I said, "Go back privateer." I said, "This thing is not working." I said, "Don't forget them." I said, I don't care. I said, "Leave it." So I said, "You came to that." So I obviously took myself back out of it and stuck with the other. Of course, the following year was fantastic. So it's just one of those things. But you got to ride the storm, and you know, I think it was just me getting used to the whole Honda basically. But I was riding it a bit wrong or whatever. But you know, in the end, it coming out.
Well, and you learned from that year that the things that did go wrong, you guys figured out how to fix it because it paid off in 79. Right? You got a 2-year deal, so 79 was your second year. That was your championship season. Take us through that, kind of highs and lows. Any close calls? I know you had an issue in Canada, you were saying.
Like, yeah, but then we got to Austria. I think was the first Grand Prix that year. And yeah, you're there. You're finally like you've got there. And Brad's turned up there. He's got this big American motorhome, so I'm there, right, we're there, right. And Dragon Lerb turns up. And you got Hyken turns up the trucks. It's huge, right? So, and there's an old weasel from England, Tasmania. So, and I thought, okay, and then Honda arranged for and interview what we're doing now, sort of thing, right? The big guy comes over, right, with his entourage and everything else, and he's like, we're talking for so long, and he said, he said, who's going to win? I am. And I thought, I walked away, I thought, now that's wrong. What? You just made yourself go at Pratt, and that you're big in the bus, and there you got to win. So, and the guy walked away with his microphone in his hand, thinking, "Who's this guy?" Yeah, but no, I did. Luckily, I won it. But you had that's aggression. You have it. You got to say you're going to say you're going to do something. And
was that the first time you maybe really believed that you could win or were going to win? Did you feel a little more prepared, a little more confident?
You say you can win a race. I mean, well, pretty from one race, but I felt good.
So how'd the rest of that season go? You started off with a win. That's obviously a big confidence booster.
Yeah. Then we went. We switched to that parent. I had a very, very good ride there, which attracted some nice grass. There we got tacky grass, and Brad had a good ride there, I know, and we definitely right there. It was that's a real muddy one, I remember. And I think it was that year. And sorry, and they well, I had this kind of Belgian entourage, right? That these guys are really, really good friends of mine, and they come to all the races and help me a lot. And there was like Langer Joss, he'd like clean the boots, and then somebody else had done something else, and they helped me out a hell of a lot. I mean, Sturkis was a Belgian guy, he'd be on the track with a stick pointing at the best lines. He had you come in the corner. So I was thinking, I mean, these guys were good, and they helped me out a lot. So mechanically, I clean the bike, and then I get to put my leg over to get on down the start line, and they go, no. They carry my bike to the start line.
Like, keep the tires clean.
And I thought, I got to do something now. And I said, all these guys are doing this. Yeah, you've got to be up on your toes again. So, I want it. But as I worked, but I third and first, I think, but it was good Grand Prix.
Okay.
Well, we had some.
In Canada, you guys kept blowing head gaskets, you were telling me.
That's weird for some silly reason. I don't know why. I don't know why they're in Japan, but we raced obviously the week before in Canada, so I think in Carlsbad, which is good, very hot. And then
how did that go, by the way?
All right. Yes, it was hot, but they had the Santana winds come over, and it was hot. It was like 110 and 20 degrees. It was hot, yeah. And you know you're going to do 40 minutes plus 2.
That Carlsbad, I mean, that's a lot of...
the Carlsbad is hard as it is, right? So, and you think, because it's another kind of, it is in the bowl and that sort of thing, but, yes, I said to Mikhail, I said, you've got to take a bottle of water. I said, when I come round here, I swear it's water over me, right? So, please, don't get me goggles for Christ's sake, otherwise, we're in trouble. Then, that is, when you scratched all down your back on the start line, because you sat there, right, and then we had a full start. We come back and do it all again, and it was hot, and I was like, geez. And so you've got to keep your concentration again. You just can't go, bugger it, don't worry about that. So you've got to keep your concentration again, and it's difficult. So, yes. And I got a decent start. I didn't get a good start. I couldn't work the start. America was, the Grand Prix have always got okay start. I never got a brilliant start. And the Carlsbad was a special track. I mean, you go round up that top hill. There's a fantastic picture of Roger just got underneath the bridge there. And but you go around that top right bend, and that's a big sweeping bend, and you're doing third gear as quick as you can, because there is a massive jump. You're coming down the hill now. And then there's a massive, I don't know why I didn't fill it up, but there's a massive 2 foot deep, like say, massive big hole, right? With your back hill, what's that? Bang. You're over the bars, you finish. So, but then as you landed off that, another hump, jam the brakes on, then the sharp left, and all gravelly kind of dirt stuff, and back up the hill again. So, yes, it's very, very difficult.
I imagine everyone from the GPs, for the most part, struggle with the heat, right? Outside of the Americans who might have been used to it. You guys didn't have a lot of hot races like that.
No, we didn't. No. But what can you do? Can't say, turn the volume.
Yeah, no, you guys go.
What can you do?
That's brutal. All right, so Canada. Sorry, I threw you off.
They go, yeah, that's right. We went to Canada the week after. It was just as hot. And for some silly reason, I don't know why, we kept blowing head gases. Don't know what went wrong with the bike, with the barrel head, or something went wrong. We don't know what. So Japanese now are going, pulling their hair out. They've got 6 guys on the phone all the time through to Japan, trying to work things out. And Honda sending up stuff from Honda, America, in vans, right, for me. So, I had a lot of attention because they want to win, obviously, was a lie, but a lot was going on, and it was. You think, this has got to work. This has got to work. So, I remember walking down the start line. I think we've got to get this right, and hopefully the bike will stay together. And I was 22nd to the start line. I'll never forget that. And I got flyer right in the gate. It wasn't a good start. I led it and won it. So I won the first race. Good. But you never know.
Did you get the overall that day or no?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I led the second race. I led by miles, and like an idiot, I went ran over the back. I got a bit too confident. I'll never forget that. And I lead again. I should have won both races, but like an idiot, I went ran, and I thought, pick myself up. The goggles all stewy, and sweating. I thought, this is horrible. But I thought, I just struck away with the goggles away, and off you go again. Like back in 5th or 6th place. I got around you, all leading it. Now you got to pull some work back. So then you get going again. So you got to start again. I got back up the 3rd, so I had the 1st and 3rd. So that was right.
With no goggles.
I had the windows. Stop all days for pit stops, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Well, a rock off a 500 tire would definitely jack your face.
It done.
All right. So at that point, obviously things are clicking for you. Was there any close calls, any other close calls throughout the series, or was it pretty smooth sailing?
It was okay. We then went to well, you can't say it's going to be easy, you can't, but we went to Monaco in Holland, where Gerrit was my closest to arrive at the time, and it's home Grand Prix. So there was a massive jump before the finish in Monaco, and I was clearing it by a long way. And in practice, I thought, it's going to be good here today. We were doing well. And then the first race, I was going really quick. I was pulling a lot of time. The next one, I took over this jump. And I got this noise, right? And then I looked down, and I had spokes flying through the wheel. I thought, you fool, right, you've broke the front wheel. So, but you went to stop. So I then just kept flipping the front wheel as much as I could at the back. But then I come to the jump, I was right rolling. I couldn't jump it. But so, and I did when it's good. I had such a lead from the start. But I was good in the sand, so it wasn't a problem. But okay, so why were you jumping and jump? I still had the front wheel. It was stuffed.
Oh man!
So yeah, luckily
you milked it in though.
Was very lucky.
Very lucky.
But you've got to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
So how'd the second moto go there? Oh, that was
the second big one. The third, I was very consistent in something.
Okay.
I didn't win everything.
Okay.
I was good. It was good.
And then you ended up wrapping the championship up in Nimmer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take us through that race and
take you through
your river.
And well, yes, it was a fantastic course. The Honda booked a party, a big event, say the week after in Luxembourg. Right? So we go to the mirror, and you don't know what's going to happen there. Wilson could have won both races, and I could have had a chain off, I could have had a flat tire, anything can happen. You know, you don't know. So you got to just like concentrate. And I knew I was on the toes with the start. So you got on the inside, you're okay. 7 or 6 in for the right hand side. If there was big grass, you're okay then. You get a good start. And I thought, that was going to be your time training. Yes, I'd done that. I'd done my homework, so I was there. I thought, you've got to do it now. Also, we're away. And I did. It was, when you've got, there's 40,000 people there. I mean, you go in that hole. I mean, the big hole on the Esplanade. That's something different.
Hopping out of there with everybody and you're out in front.
That's something different. I mean, you're clearing it by miles. So, well, I was. So, but you were thinking, yippee. I mean, you look up and you feel that what's better. It's going, that's great.
Feeling. That track always just looked really sketchy. You could die a million ways, man. Hit a tree, going off a wall.
Yes, it was. It was done. You done. I mean, Brad, I spoke with Stefan was a lot. So, I mean, it can make you or break you. I mean, yeah, it can kill you. But if you use your head and you treat it with respect, you can make a lot of time. You can make a lot of time. I mean, obviously, you don't get a good start. So you've done a good start, which made it better thing. Then you went off there for a little chicane, but then just in the little that archy bridge, you can make a lot of time for there. Because that was across the road, and those people shut off. But if you like hold another gear higher, and across it further, you get a bit more speed. You know, and you gain I think another half a second or something. It added up. Then you went down on the road, and you can make time. What depends how quick you want to go across the road. If you like screw your tire up or what, because you're going to make it ball lightning. So yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that too. Did you try to kind of roll on easy so you didn't light it up?
Well, I always try to.
You could burn through a tire.
Well, I try to pull a high gear. Yeah. Oh yeah, you run the tire straight away. Well, there again on that track, it didn't make much difference because it did. It was so hard packed, and the more rubber you had on the surface, obviously it was better. Like I say,
yeah.
But I did was try to pull a higher gear so much so I did have to.
You just had to know where you could push and where you had to be careful there, huh? That's an important part.
I did that.
Well, you figured it out. So you come across, did you wrap it up first moto or second? Second. What was that feeling like?
But I would say, I was more relieved. I was happy for mum and dad. Good. They put so much into me, so for me, in May, I've been in the limelight for so long, all year, all things that it didn't. World champion. It done not then. Now, okay, people say cool, but then I went fair enough. There's more for them. So great.
I find it interesting because I do hear this from a lot of guys that when they wrap up a title, it's not this feeling of like joy that they won. It's a feeling of they can finally exhale. It's like the pressure and it almost makes it not sound that cool. It's like, really, man, you should.
No, I know is a funny thing, but you get to the point where but everybody around you not trying to help you, and please let's try and get it up to they're trying to help you, right? Yeah. And deep down you got to do it, but to hide the pressure is a big thing. Try to hide it. It's very, very funny, but anyway, it was difficult, but you can do it.
Did you have a trick for that kind of getting yourself to just like look at one race at a time, not count points down the road, or try to kind of take the pressure off? Was it just years after the race?
No, I'll try. Yeah. No, you can't. I mean, if you training, obviously, if you're running and that sort of stuff, but if you're like stuck to a bike and it takes your mind off it, doesn't it? So and then you do other things, and help the mechanic do the track or do something. Just keep that away. But if you're riding the bike, it's not so bad. So, yeah. But when I've done that for me, I mean, yeah, it's great when they put so much into it. So, yeah.
All right, what a good feeling to see them happy, probably, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the after party. You say you guys had one planned for Luxembourg, but
yes. What do you want to know?
I want to hear it. I want the details.
Well, we had a glass of water.
Yeah, you did. Come on.
No, of course, like I said, Honda made arrangements for a big party, the big after in Luxembourg. So, a big chief came over. He goes, "Right, I said, well, forget a restaurant further down the hill, right? So like on the main street, main drag, and so we got a big restaurant down there. We always having a big party, but then there's loads of other. I mean, a load of other English supporters were there, and
did other riders come too? Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, they come in and say, well, and that sort of stuff, but it's good. I mean, you had everybody. I mean, we ended up with 8 restaurants, right? So, and I mean, I went down each restaurant to just to talk to them and say thank you. It was a big thing, and it was so. And I know that Honda picked up the whole lot. They were happy because I was the first world champion for Honda. So,
yeah, I didn't know that. You mentioned that earlier off camera that you were the first world championship for them. I guess I didn't realize that. That's what a cool little asterisk to your resume.
It happened. I can't say it. It happened. I mean, I was in the right place at the right time. So yes, it is. Yeah. Happened again.
What was the craziest championship party you ever went to? If it wasn't yours.
Craziest. Now you take the world. Hey, the craziest I would say happens.
In '83. What'd he do? Where was this?
Brad's was very, very good as well, but Brad's was a bit more today. I mean, but Brad's was also very, very good. But and then Harkins was in St. Anthony's, the whole, and '83. But he tell us the white pirate man. He put on a party in a certain place in the centre. Right. So I drove my home down to into the village place. Right in the middle. Well, that'd do. Good. So we then grew about Hanks and put food and drink on for us. Went over there. We drank that. And was then I can come flying in, so of course, and all the Swedish entourage. So then we got this other place, right? And this place was buzzing. Right? And there's loads and loads of Swedes in there. So we think, okay. I thought, this is going to be good. So when they love a party, when all the English do it, and they're all getting together, and yeah, it wasn't a problem. So, I'd won the first race, and I'd won the world championship for Honda for the manufacturers award. So it was good. I was happy, but and they said we haven't got a contract for you next year. But that was one of those things. Yeah, it was bad. I didn't like it, but I'll come into that later on. But then Harkins do. We go there inside the party, right? And all these Swedes they are drinking, and they're getting out around. So
Swedes get after it pretty good too.
Oh, they run it. What the? I mean, we knew that, and then Harkin was there, and we were like, jump. Yeah, you're ahead. So we'll give it all burst. And then they start throwing the beer around and all this and that. So the big boss comes down. Look, stop! Music's off. Right, stop. So you got to stop. Wait, so why? Oh no, I'm having this. So I think that I thought right. So I went bang at the top pocket, bang, sit on the table, right, and it was all reprised. I always start me having, so I just shot on the table. Carry on. So go the music. It's so funny. So I told the story a few times, but it's so funny. Music goes back up, and off we go. So well, they look another hour and a half now. So now the Swedes has like moved. The guy behind the party moved him out the way. And they're behind their bar now. They're doing all the optics. We are not drinking everything, right? No problem. We are flat out. And I think this is going to go wrong now for sure. Right?
Yeah.
So then you can guarantee, yeah, of course. But the guy who owns the place, he's done a brilliant job. So he can the music's off. Stop. And I thought, nice mate. He just said, yeah, that's 3K. And he said, Harkin goes, he goes like, he's doing exactly the same as me, right? So, bang, go here, and off we go again. So it was funny. So we were back at it again, and we had a good do, and this week's good drink. So we were going very, very well, and I thought, this is good. So then in the end, I mean, we drank the whole lot.
Just to clean them out.
It was the poor guy was stuffed. I mean, he come down and said thank you and everything else. We applauded him and everything else. Like, cheers, mate, for letting us not wreck your place, basically. You know? But then we go back to the motorhome, and well, I invited everybody back, and we wanted to come back, and they nicked the beer at the garage, and we were like carrying crates across the thing and all sorts, and it was great. So we were going across there, and the music flat out, you know, as you do. And then there's like 20 streets. We're up on the motorhome, jump on the roof, and I thought, well, it's going to be, they did that stuff. So anyway, beside the point, it's still flat out. So we carried it on, and next minute you got the door here. So the police, so, you know, and then he said, they goes big growls. Listen up. Well, yes. And more, you know, just so that we've got a marker here, so we basically in 2 hours' time, they've got to set the marker up. You've got to get your motorhome back to the track. I said, I can't even see that. I'm fucking driving. But they're going, you have to. I said, will you drive it? I said, you drive, please. They take it. I was like, well, that's it. You've got to drive it. They pushed.
So the cops are stuffing your motor
back this draw. So they pushed me back in this thing, right? And I thought, I don't want to do this. But so anyway. And of course, the column changer pulled the handle down. They put it right by an escort up the road. They walked in front of me right back to the track. And I thought, this ain't right. Then right, there's still a space on the roof. And I thought, music's flat out. And I thought, well done, Harkin. You know, you mentioned better than me, but well done, you've done a great job. And I thought, this is different. But it was,
yeah.
And I got back to the track. Luckily, that was it.
That's awesome. Does Honda still support you now? Were they good to you after that? Because there should be some loyalty when somebody wins not only a world championship for you, your first world championship.
You know, it's difficult. I mean, I do talk to Roger Harvey a hell of a lot. It's obviously the Honda boss. Yes, it'd be nice if we could get more in contact with the old people from the Honda. It'd be nice. I mean, and then me and Koshi was a big boss at the time. And then you got that load of other people, obviously, you know, in there that done everything. I mean, they were a good team. So, I don't speak to enough of them. Should do.
Okay, so Vegas through 1980. You had a 2-year deal, so you signed a new deal in 1980. 2 more years. Good money. I mean,
it is. Well, they when I had a deal where give me the money, right, and then I had to get myself to the track.
Okay.
So that was all down to me. So, you know, I had everything incorporated that. So, yeah, well, good deal, not a problem. But
and how did that season go? You had some injuries.
Terrible.
Yeah.
You could have got it there better. No worries. I started off very, very well. You know, the training was going good. It was quick. You don't think, do you? But you know, that's a shame. I did rush from ankle. I shoulder. Collarbone. I'm taking this out, you know, trying to get back. I got back to France, Grand Prix there. Which I road come out behind on the handlebar, all this stuff, and all taped up. But you've got to do it. Some of that, I mean, they paid you a load of money. I mean, they don't want to see you sat home doing nothing. So yes, you've got to punish yourself. Yeah, we did. I think it was overall there, which I shouldn't have got, but I did. Then when I go after that, with that British Challenge, I think it was broke my ankle. But and then the big one coming into the my brown neck.
Oh,
So yeah, yeah, it did happen.
yeah.
So
What happened there?
well, yeah, it's we were going more than well. Gerard Ron was riding very well on Suzuki that day as well. And when I was second, I'm not sure, but he got a good start. And I thought we'd gone up the gate off the start. I was on the right hand side of him, and I thought, you've got to change over ground because I know he's going to jump wide. I jumped, and I cut across, and as I cut across, as we took off, there's an Italian rider on the inside, didn't turn around. He's like, nailed me, and I was in. So, yeah, I mean, there's a picture somewhere with the bike 100 foot up in the air. When the bike was right off, so they scrapped that, sent them back, straight back to Japan. That's that finished. I was out on the track. Roger thought I was dead. So yeah, something good.
So you missed some rounds after that, or?
That's where you do. Well, you do to a certain extent. I mean, yeah, then the operation, and doctor goes, right, yeah, right, they've got a little pin today. I'm pinned up. Don't everything's good. So I said, don't wait for a certain amount of time. Right? Okay, that's got in one ear. So yeah, it's like a stupid idiot. But then I was riding the bike way too early than what he said. And I went back to him one day and I said, look, that's my ankle's really hurting. Really bad. He goes, we'll x-ray it again. So he x-rayed it. He said, you're not riding that bike. I said, well, of course I was. And then he goes, he said, see why. He said, your bottom pin that goes through your other pin is falling out. So he said, that's going to have another operation to get your other pin out. And he said, you broke your ankle at the same time. He said, that's okay. Oh, thank you. So, but so the other time, another operation, got the other pin out. He goes, don't let go for such and such long. Yeah, okay. So, of course, and when you're back on it again, and you can't help it. You're so fit, you're so strong, we're not fit. You just come back on it. And you want to do it. You've got the adrenaline to do it. The bike was good. I want to do it. So, I didn't. Yeah, and then what do? You just can't keep going on. I got an infection in the leg, but I come back and just goes, you bend that one more time. If you rotate your leg off, it's as simple as that. You bend the pin. What can I do? Yeah. It wasn't very good.
That year, kind of a write-off, huh? Okay. Well, 81 will be your second year with Honda here with your 2-year deal. But let's take a quick break. This is your Troy Lee Designs timeout. Stick around. We're going to be right back to finish up with Graham. There's a new product on the market that's going to help you with your riding and racing, and it's Elevate Action Sports. If you've not yet gone and checked it out at elevateactionsports.com, it's a collective of riding coaches, the likes of which has never been put together. Grant Langston, Ryan Hughes, Jeff Emick, Johnny Campbell, and myself, David Pingree, bringing all of our years of experience in professional racing to one place with professionally produced videos and all kinds of supporting staff to help you with your mental side of racing, your physical side, your bike setup, your bike maintenance. We cover it all. Get to Elevate Action Sports right now and join the community.
Dunlop. There is a reason every AMA championship in the past decade was won on Dunlop tires. They are the best. Choose the best performing tire and a brand that has never wavered in their support of our sport. Choose Dunlop. Pro Circuit. Pro Circuit products are designed with one goal in mind: winning. Through passion and hard work, Pro Circuit has operated the most successful 250 team in the history of the sport. They use that same formula when developing exhaust, engine, and suspension parts for every brand. When only the highest level of performance is acceptable, trust Pro Circuit.
Since 2009, Seat Concepts has been dedicated to making the best aftermarket seats. More comfort, more grip, more riding. For 10 years, we've continued to raise the bar. Innovation and American craftsmanship make Seat Concepts the world-leading manufacturer of power sports seats.
Something from nothing. That's what Nihilo Concepts is about. It starts with a spark, an idea, a concept, which leads to a design, and finishes with engineered excellence with the highest quality products created with durability in mind. All our products are made in the USA at our state-of-the-art facility in Stuart, Florida. Whether you are a weekend warrior, ride for fun, or at the highest level of competition, Nihilo Concepts offers innovative titanium, aluminum, and carbon fiber parts for your dirt bike. We offer a wide variety of products that you can customize to your liking. Browse our site for foot pegs, brake tips, engine components, specialty tools, frame grip tape, lever grips, carbon fiber components, motor stands, our secondary on-switch, plus much more. Head to NihiloConcepts.com and see for yourself why factory teams like Red Bull KTM, Rockstar Husqvarna, Troy Lee Designs Gas, Orange Brigade, Club MX, KLM Gas, and some of the fastest riders in the world choose Nihilo Concepts.
Specialized Bicycles. Specialized leads the way in the world of bicycling. Whether it's cross-country racing, downhill, e-bikes, enduro, road, gravel, dual slalom, dirt jumping, or all mountain bikes that do it all, Specialized has the perfect ride for you. The brand is synonymous with engineering excellence and innovation that steers the industry. Visit your local Specialized dealer for a test ride and see just how good Specialized products are.
Try to keep on keeping on.
With a rich history in motocross, ProX has been dedicated to supplying quality components since 1975. Whether you're rebuilding an engine or just need a new chain, ProX Racing Parts aims to bridge the gap between OE quality and affordability. ProX has over 9,000 part numbers and over 60 different product types that are manufactured by highly reputable or even OEM suppliers and are offered at affordable prices to help keep riders on the bike instead of in the garage. Visit ProX.com to search parts for your bike or check them out at your favorite online or local dealer.
Audio Jungle.
The guys are just breaking in their race bikes, which will leave on the semi this Saturday to go to the first Supercross for our coast in Orlando. So the guys are just be goofing off a little bit, do some cool photos, do some cool videos. When you go racing, you want to do well, but a big key is keeping the bikes on the track. That's why we chose to work with Motul.
Expectations coming in as a rookie is just to try and get my feet wet and honestly just send it, see where I end up and do my best out there, but just ride aggressive and ride like myself in practice and I should have a good time.
Challenges of this sport, I believe, is just simply staying healthy. With how fast we're going and what we're doing, your margin for mistake is really, really small.
Stay Sick. If you have little rippers, then you have had to have seen Stay Sick bikes by now. We have created bike and experiences that allow kids to develop sooner and empower them to find their own ride. From learning to ride to sharpening skills, the Stay Sick promise is accelerated growth. Whatever path your family chooses, it's going to be the ride of your life. Stay Sick Stability Cycles.
I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Ay, ay, ay. I'm on vacation. If you don't like your life, then you should go and change it.
Hey folks, welcome back. That was your Troy Lee Designs timeout. Please get over to troyleedesigns.com and look at all the new gear. They've got new fall line about to come out, new helmets, paint departments cranking, mountain bike gear, everything you need. Check those guys out. All right, Graham, back to your story here. So we're through 1980, a lot of injuries. It was kind of a rough year for you. So take me into 1981. Are you healthy coming into the season? What are your thoughts? Where's your head at? How's your ankle, your neck?
Well, I'm trying to get everything, but I mean, you got to start with the beginning. So, you know, I did a rough 80. So, anyway, yeah, I did a lot of training and it was going well. But, you know, you don't know until you get anywhere near first Grand Prix. I've done a lot of international races in Belgium and Holland. That year was good. So, it was okay. But you got he won the start off very well.
And you ended up second overall that year to Andre Mallard, but this was a series you could have won. I mean, had a few things here or there gone right?
There's always if, buts, woulds, coulds, and everything else in it. But yeah, okay. Yes, there is things that did happen, where me knuckle got smashed with a battery pack in Luxembourg. But
what happened there?
I coming down the year and I was about dry at the time. But I mean, there's people say they know who it is, but I've heard different names and different stories. But you know, until you know exactly, you can't. I'm not going to do nothing anyway. But anyway, so then I got smashed over the hand with a battery pack, and me knuckle there was there. It should be there. Got smashed up, and I still rode about 7 or 8 laps with it. It wasn't too bad, but until the bone come through the glove, I thought that's hurting now because it changed position. And I thought, bugger that. So I stopped. But yeah, that was the end of that.
I think Brad mentioned that in his show about that happening, and it's crazy one that the spectators are that close, and that they would be that malicious to smack a rider in the hand.
Yes, but they're very everybody's excited. They want their riders to win away. I mean, like I said, it's just adrenaline. So yeah, it's bad. What it is.
So you needed surgery on that to fix the bone?
Yeah, went back to the old doctor. Doctor who done me leg and everything else. The old doctor again. He's not fantastic. When I saw him, like, I had a lot.
Yeah, had to be good friends with him.
Oh yeah. Of course.
And you still ended up that championship in second. So did you not miss many rounds?
That was the last one.
I
was lucky. That was right. But yeah, one was a good year, but should have pulled it off. That was a mistake. I mean, the head, I won 3 championships. Paper, I won 1. So, yeah, but ways.
Tell me about the American racing you did. I know you came over for obviously USGP, Carlsbad. Did you get Adilla? Yeah. What'd you think of those? I mean,
that was good. I did that. That was obviously in the trailer series, so I did like a lot. And that was because they do practice on the Saturday, and it was good. A lot of grass at the top. Remember that? Turn right down the hill. Yes, nice track. But when the tracks you want to go back again and again to get really used to it. I didn't get used to it. I know I didn't. Yeah. I could have really mowed around there, but I didn't have enough time. But there again, it's the same for everybody.
It does take some time to get used to, and that would have been the era when it was still really good.
Bumpy.
A lot of the good loose topsoil got blown off later. It's not the same. But
yeah, Bob took off right there.
Yeah. What about the? I know you raced at Sears Point. You did a race up in Washington. These were those Trans Ams, or what were those?
Sears Point. Yeah, we went. Yeah, we done Seattle and we went to Sears Point, but that was good, really good.
And you and DeCoster had a little get together at Sears Point. Was that a battle you guys had?
Yeah, can't remember what exactly the end of the result was, but I know we had a very good race. All the Honda boys, Jim, and there was a Muddy Trudge, Muddy Smith. All the boys were on the total maker of them, but
Eierstat was there, right?
yes.
Was that a pretty fun track? Because that didn't stick around long. Just real, probably a lot like Farley, or
It was a very, very good track. That's like when there was a track, and they just stuck the plastic rope, that sort of thing, yeah. And that was it. They did no prep and bullshit like that, so that's good. It was a genuine track. You look at every photograph, you can see it.
Yeah, it looked fun. And you hung out with Pomeroy a bit. You guys were buddies. You had a few different friends over in the U.S.
Then you look at the story about probably with the.
Yeah, I want to hear the Graham Hall.
Yes. So I travelled with. Well, I've been with Galen because Paul Galen's gone now, unfortunately, Galen Moses. But we would travel together, and we went to Seattle, done that race, and when I was on Mako, and Galen goes, "Oh," he said, "We'll go back. We'll go to Pomeroy's house." He said, his garage, we use that to work on the bikes. So, okay, so fair enough. I'm a young lad, 18, I think it was, 19 at the time. So now I'm working on the bike, and I've got the forks out. I put the forks back in, so I've got halfway for the yokes, and now they've got to go for the top yokes, right? Which the Mako were hard to do. So now normally you like put a screwdriver in, open up the thing, just start it, but no, I was in it. They'll German mechanic, takes off the stand, rounds it, gets them all. So I thought, and that's no problem. Now I'm head down, following across this garage floor, right? You got to see this. I mean, you can picture it. Me with the Mako, right? My hands right flat out, and Galen's going, no, what shit? I mean, I'm heading towards this big white wall, right? And I was like around this thing and push his forks up for it. And I thought, here we go, bang, right? And there's a massive hole in Jim's dad's and garage, right? I've just hit all the stub work. And I thought, you prat, right? And I thought, what are you going to do now? Right? So this guy laughing his socks off, going, yeah. Well, I was shitting. I said, yeah. I said, I wasn't listening. Well, I said, no. I said, you run. So I ran this Mako through this Jim's dad's in his walk in the garage, right? And I thought. So with that, Jim comes out of the house. So, hey man, Jim's like flying and jumping on Dad, as he did. My Jim was always buzzing, and he was a lovely bloke. And he said, I said, Jim, I've got a problem. I said, I made a big mistake. He said, what was that? I said, I've just made a big hole in your Dad's wall here. He looked at it, he goes, yeah, well, yeah, man. He said, we can fix that, right? That was Jim's word. We can fix that, right? I said, okay, yeah, good. No, I thought we're going to get a saw, a better plasterboard, and I'll make it good, and we'll get it in there like no problem at all. So off goes Jim, right? I mean, he's gone 10 minutes, comes back. I mean, he's got, say, 4 crates of beer, right? And I thought, well, that ain't going to fix the hole. Yeah, man, he said, it will, right? Of course, they were on the beer, so that day's done. So, and I thought, well, all I'm worried about is the whole work. His dad was away at the time. He was away, thank goodness. And I thought, I've got to get this sorted out. So there's Jim's flat out on the beer, and but dodgy. So anyway, that day's done. I thought, right. So now the second day, I thought, right, Jim, please help me out. We've got to get this right. Please, right? So we've got to get this sorted because this ain't looking too good, right? There's a massive hole there with a Mako, right? And basically gone through this wall. And I thought, and then bang, open the door, right? And please, Donny, but that. And Donny can't let it because for the main door, right? Now he's got a big old Olympic torch in his hand, right? And a bottle of JD in his other hand. And I thought, no, go away, please, because that ain't going to be no good to me.
That's not going to fix the wall.
You know, no, Jimmy, please. He goes, yeah, man, he's super fixed. And Jim comes out, we'll do that again. What? So Jim's buzzed off, comes back out. And look, we've wasted 2 days on the booze, right? I thought, so in the end, we'd done what I thought was going to happen in the first place. You know, the cardboard stuff and the duct tape, you know, just stuck all back up together. And I felt so sorry for his dad. I thought, he's going to go nuts, you know.
Yeah.
England's going to smash his garage up. I thought, that ain't right. So, yeah, we've gone down to Phoenix. I mean, sorry, we done Seattle. I done Phoenix. Then Jim goes, he said, Dad's selling the property, right? He said, well, you've got to sign the whole anyway, right? Jim, I said, I'm flying back to America and to the UK the next day. He said, you got to sign the whole. I said, all right. So I cancelled that flight. So I flies up to Seattle, right? Signs the whole, Graham, whole, right, sort of stuff, right? Right, I got a picture of it. I know they have, right? Of course, Jim goes back on the beer again. So we're there. So then I'll fly back to the UK. Oh, dear, that was hard work. That was hard work.
Cost you 3 nights of being hammered drunk.
Oh, what a guy. Yeah, oh, yes. Brilliant, man.
What about the other guys down here? You spent a little bit of time with Tripes as well.
Marty Tripe, right? Marty Tripe's fantastic, man. Yes, he's Marty Tripe's, Marty Smith, Tommy Croft, they were come from that area, didn't they? Which I was very friendly with them, and you know, Tommy let me stay at his house, and had a Gary Savix and everybody. That's really great talk, you know. Yeah, fantastic.
Any good stories with those guys?
We both. Spokes was just himself and not. I mean, we went at one. Yeah, Tripe said one day. He goes, yes. He said, all the boys are coming over. He said, because Steve Wise was over as well. On the holiday, there was Steve Wise, Tripes, and Rolf coming down. Well, everybody, right? So, and he goes, there's an old production bike over there. He said, you can ride. Oh, thanks, Marty. Right. So anyway, I filled up fuel and off I went. You know, when the problem. They were the factory boys, but when the problem. So we took a trail run supposedly. So then, you got the picture where there's the big truck, right? And they jump over the top of it, right? So I thought, okay, then Marty goes, we'll jump the truck, right? And I thought, I don't think this has got enough steam, this whole thing, but we'll give it a go. So I backed up and I fired this thing up as quick as I could. Luckily, I cleared it, right? I got over the top. Oh, thank goodness for that. I said, right now, Marty. Now he said, well, we'll jump on the way down. I said, well, you got no takeoff. He said, we'll do it. So Marty was good on the bike, and we had like pre-jump it, and I jump over the top of this thing on the way down, right? And I thought, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Just so anyway, but we did do it. We got back, and all the boys done it. But what a fantastic time! But that's what they got. They do some special things.
Was that down south, like Palm Avenue, or where were you guys going?
It is Marty Trump's house right the way down. Yeah, one day Ricky Johnson, I talked to him when he came to England at that time. He knows what I was talking about because I pushed a bike through this great big tunnel once to go practicing. Right out on the back of this motorway, right?
Okay.
And I think Ricky needed it once, but anyway, that's all built on there, Graham. But there's one hell of a place, and then there's all the boys. And I was just worried about a snake doing the tunnel or something like that, and he don't know, dear. And anyway, pushed his bike off his tunnel, got it to the side, started up the bike, and there's a lovely track there, but that's how I brought it.
It's got to be down there somewhere. San Diego area.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so take me into the following season. Good season at 81. Second overall. Going to 82. This is your last year with Honda. How did that season go?
That's a shame. Shame. Good one. I done my collarbone on that one, and then I'll come back. But I wouldn't think about pushing that good. But 83 was going okay. But I don't know. I won the last race for Honda, actually, which made Honda the manufacturers champion, so they were pleased with that. And they said, we haven't got a voyager for you next year. I said, well, thank you. That was the end of that.
Thanks for the help.
That's right.
I think you won the Swedish GP that year too, right? In 82?
Mentioned.
4th overall in the series, won the Swedish round. I wanted to ask you about that bike. It's interesting to hear your take, because it sounds a little different than what like Johnny O and RJ and Bailey say about the 82. They say that thing was, Donnie Hansen, they say that thing was the trickiest works bike ever. 82 to 85, right? But you were like, it's okay. You didn't seem to be real hyped on it.
It was, it was a special bike. I mean, it's very difficult when the Honda done so much, right? And they did, but all the manufacturers had, obviously, but what can you do next? But they done a really, really good job. Every 3 years they changed it. It's a fantastic bike in my mind. I don't know where we had different stuff than what the Americans had, but it's good.
Yeah. You said your tests were different than theirs, right? Like you and Thorpe had come over and tested for your bike.
We had different. Yes, I know you meant that. Yes, because we come over and when the first one call come out, and we were at a track and we were going round, and but we didn't have nothing to compare it with. Right, so I thought, well, I said to Dave, I said, this just doesn't feel right. And the mechanics, I said, Stephen, I said, this don't feel right. I said, this just feels like sluggish. Maybe we should like change the jet and make it a bit leaner. But then I said, can we compare it with the air cool? They said, no, everything's back in Japan. So the big cheese then did say that we'll fly one over for you. So they flew one back from Japan over to America and California. And then they brought that out. And then we tried that. And yeah, there was no point me and Dave doing a start because no one was quicker or whatever. So I drew a line in the sand. So Dave said, come there. So you get the right, hold it flat out in second gear and we'll see what happens. And the water cooled one was quicker. But it felt very quick. That's what I was annoyed about. But changed the characteristics of the bike. But obviously it was just as quick or quicker because it did make it did have the power. And Honda would never lose on power. It lose on power.
It was just a smoother delivery, so it didn't feel as exciting.
Yes.
And were you working with Dave Arnold at the time, or who was there at Honda?
Dave was there, yeah. But he was well, didn't work for Dave, but Dave had taken over, I think, after, because Steve was
at a point. I'm not sure in there who was working.
Well, he was the boss then, but then Dave Arnold took over. Yeah, he had 2 years before Roger took over.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that you guys you had the European GP test sessions were not lumped in with U.S. test sessions, and at that time you're both on works bikes. It seems weird that there would be. Why not all work together, or
Well, it would have been a good thing, but I think like our bikes are different because obviously fuel's different. So
yeah,
that's the biggest thing. I mean, it makes a big difference by the fuel. But we had a good time. I mean, I never forget we were up in the north, just above the North LA, and Honda were doing a big test. Honda America were doing a big test then. Marty Trucks, right? I stayed with them. They wanted me to stay behind and do some testing with Marty. And we were just changing the shock absorbers in from laying down up to standing up straight. And we were 2 seconds a lap quicker with the shock stood up straight. It was interesting time.
Yeah. There was a lot of development going on in that window.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, water cooling and brakes.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. Okay, so 82, you finished that season up. And were you disappointed that Honda didn't come back with an offer? I mean, or how did that go down?
Oh, I'd had an inkling, but yes, but my mechanic he was doing 100 hours a week. He said, I knew he was a bit fatigued. He was saying he needed a bit more out, and I said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "I don't think we'll do another year, Graham." So I said, "All right." That was that's what nothing now in the coffin basically, but I thought, right, because he was a good bloke, and I thought, well, there's nothing else I can do now, so I had to step back. But they made their mind up. They want to sign them under Roman, so nothing I could do about that. But, the funny thing was, I was talking to Kawasaki, Alec Wright, Kawasaki, in the UK, and we couldn't just see eye to eye. That was it's a shame. But then they said, "You've missed a phone call. I've been away on holiday." And Honda tried to get back on me again because they changed their mind. Mm. So it's very, very difficult. Well, I thought, why go on holiday? But there you go. What can you do?
Yeah, nothing you can do at that point. You ended up riding a KTM that year, but not for the whole year. Take us through what happened there.
No, that was a shame. Well, that was funny enough. That was a good point. But when I went over, they made a very good bike, but they're trying to get ahead of themselves, because when I went in to try the bike, the kickstart one had gone up, so they didn't kickstart. I went to bump it. Yeah. Yes, I know. It was a funny thing. But the power band on that was...
You have a bike you can only bump start? I mean, that's insane.
Oh, I know. I mean, I'd done sort of Grand Prix, it's very bad, and then they did make one, but then the shaft kept breaking, and it was all sorts going wrong. The thing had a lot of torque. I think that's what was the biggest problem. They couldn't make one. The metal was wrong, and they were just not playing ball. Yeah, we couldn't do it now. But the bike was ball very well.
Mm. But you didn't finish that season, right? You ended up having just say that. Call it good.
It wasn't that. I mean, we tried and tried and tried, but if we can't put it all together, you can't embarrass KTM, and I don't want to embarrass myself. It's very difficult.
Yeah, that's a hard position to be in, to be trying to develop a new, a bike that's not there yet.
But this bike has some potential. Well, obviously it has, because they're going to change this one.
Yeah,
but it's very difficult.
Well, come a long ways. All right, so the following year, that was it for your racing career. After you hung it up on that KTM, you were done from pro racing. Yep.
Well, it was, but I come back again. I bought a standard Honda production. Honda, tried to revitalise it, but it wasn't.
Okay. Just a lot tougher to do it on your own and on a stock bike.
But it's, you got enthusiasm. So
that's it, right? I mean, you got to have the passion there. If it's not there, you're uphill battle.
It is, but then if somebody goes buying, and you think, I used to ride one of them. It's difficult. Yeah. But there you
go. You did some coaching the next year. Carl Nunn, Merv Anstey, some other folks did some vintage racing. That stuff enjoyable for you?
Yeah. Carl was a funny rider. Carl could ride a motorbike. He was, I would say, very much like his knees don't actually touch the tank. I mean, he could just like float on the bike. I mean, he was very, very good, Carl was. The shame. He could have gone a lot further, but we just couldn't pinpoint certain areas where why we weren't winning all the time. But he was good. I mean, with August Warren, I got told everybody had to never give up, right? So the bike flopped up on the start line, and in the end he cleared it, right? So he came not from last, he came back a bit, lot further, and then he got up to the last guy. Then he went forward and forward and forward, and he got up to fourth place. So Carl was riding really good, and you don't give up, which he didn't do. So Yeah, he could ride around some.
Was it good for you to continue to ride a little bit once you quit racing professionally?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That's good, but it's difficult to. What do you do? I mean, because my body's not healthy as it was. So it's very, very difficult. But the ankle's the worst thing, and I've got a cracked shoulder blade because that one never fixed. So that's not good.
Pretty beat up. That's pretty typical of old moto guys, huh? It's not one thing, it's another.
I'm not the only one.
No.
I'm not the only one.
And you've been working with a buddy of yours ever since, right? You showed up to help him out one day, and how many years have you been there?
Oh, with the Laura, yeah. But this very good friends of mine. But yeah, Jim goes that he drove a lorry for me one day and just helped me out and end up on. So 16 years later, I'm still there. I don't know how, but I am. They let me drive it still.
Yeah, well, good. Speaking of driving, you got a good rental car story. I know you smashed some rental cars in your days.
Yeah.
I want to hear your best one.
All right. Well,
everybody loves a good rental car story.
There's several. I remember Galen and Gary was talking about rental cars many years ago. Trans-Am series, but yeah, we were Brad and myself. We had there was a break between the Grand Prix like years ago. I don't know why, but we had a bit of a break. So he wanted to go to Sandra Pike, which we had it on, which we should have done. And
okay.
I want to go to Jersey instead, like a football, so, in the Channel Islands. So I don't know why, but we did go over there. Yes, well, this poor car. So. But the pubs are open all day over there. So, and me and Brad, we do look at Temple. So, and I started off driving it in the first place. And, at a curb, and you hit another curb, and then you got no tires, and you're on the rim, and you think, there's spark flying, and I think, Brad goes, Brad, he said, I'm able to go now. I thought, thank goodness for that. So, you carry on, pal. I mean, I was sitting in the passenger seat and just hang on. And yeah, Brad took over, and look, we got towards the end. I said, we've got to get this back. We're at the airport. Don't worry. Right. We're stuffed. I said, we've got to get it back quick. And just out the way, I said, we were drunk. Let's get some dinner. We got it back. And then I thought, perfect. Just walking away, with this guy shaking his gun. Excuse me, sort of thing. Then we had to turn around and we got stuffed.
Oh, yeah. You had to pay for all the damn.
No, we got deported from the island. That was the end of that. No, what can you say? Old Brad, he went over there. That was the only time I think he went to Guernsey, but that's it. But,
oh, no.
Yeah, that was it done. The car was knackered.
It happens. Something ran out in front of you or something, right? You just tell them that.
Well, you got swerved and missed the dog, didn't you?
Yeah. Hey, kill the dog. What'd you want me to do?
There's that small maze right across the road, Oh, no, we were hammering, but it was good fun.
You and Brad seem to have some pretty good times, and he wouldn't give up any of the goods about his championship party. What can you tell me about his championship party? What'd you guys do?
Oh, very good friends, Brad, and very good friends with Laurie's wife as well. So I don't want to upset anybody, but no, they had a fantastic time. I mean, he deserved exactly what he got. He worked it for a long time. He's gone through a lot. I don't listen to his story; is very, very good. Yeah, I mean,
he says a couple of drinks and then called it a night early. I say bullshit.
Exactly. How long you got? No, he had a few drinks. We all had a few drinks, but it's fine. I mean, Brad was very, very, very strong-willed, but I never forget listening to him. I think it was in 82 when he won the championship. We were in Finland. I'll never forget this. And they just set up another frame or something, and another shock as well. And they were arguing with his mechanic, and he goes, look, he said, man, he said, we're going to set forward the frame. I thought, So, and then as he got the JD up, I mean, Brad's on the Jack Daniels and the Temple, and I said, just set forward. He said, I've had enough. So, and Brad was serious. I wasn't messing about, and I don't know the outcome of that, but I'll go out of the way. But he was definitely not having it.
He's ready to burn that thing to the ground.
They were, I just only, but certain frame, I don't think, in the end, it was a shock. But he messed up, but I think they set fire to the frame anyway. But that was him. I mean, he's strong, but he deserved it. Great.
Well, listen, you don't win a world championship without deserving it. I mean, they don't hand those things out. Tell me about your family. You've been married a couple times, right? You got 2 kids?
Yes. I have, yeah.
Tell me about your kids. Where are they at? And
Greg and Georgia, yeah, they're fine. Greg's he's in Palmer at the moment. He's a marine engineer. He does all the boats, doing very extremely well. So he gets flown all around the world to drive these big super yachts. Big people. Yeah, that's right. George,
not a bad gig.
Georgia's in the UK. She's got her own company called Events, which she flies around the world doing. A big company. She's doing well. So yes, luckily the kids are doing all right. Luckily, yeah.
And you and I were chatting about him earlier, why he did or didn't get into riding, and you said he rode a little bit, but decided he wanted to play football instead. And
yes, it's a funny thing. I mean, he was very interested when I bought him a PW50 to ride for Christmas, as you do. And Georgia rode as well. She was very good at it as well. But you can't. And we had Honda said to me, Graham, look, you can hit your son there whatever he wants, right? So if he wants to do it, do it. So I'm very fortunate with that. And I asked him, we were coming back from a race one day. I said, look, I've just been speaking to the boss. He said, do you want to do racing? What? He said, I'm not sure, Dan. I said, don't. I said, no. I said, what do you think about it? I said, but that's not really the answer, is it? I said, because your mates said yes. So, all his mates could play football, they couldn't ride a mountain bike. But I did take him up the farm where we ended, and I did teach them all to ride a bike with a helmet on and everything else, and they all enjoyed it. But they couldn't afford a mountain bike, so very difficult, So, but they could all play football. So it was difficult. Maybe his mum got around the corner and said, "We don't do that." I don't know, but it's this. You can't force him to do it.
Well, there's certainly an amount of pressure that would come with having your dad be a world champion. It puts a little shadow over you that would be tough to dig out of.
Yeah. I remember when come back sometimes and they say, "Do you know so-and-so's dad?" I said, "Remember that you think if he ever do, but it's like back in my day when I was at school."
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh yeah, well, their dad is watching racing lot, so it goes back a long way, right?" And then it puts pressure on them. You think, I don't want this.
Yeah,
it's very, very difficult. But no, so luckily they're right.
Yeah,
no, but it does put a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's good. I have a couple of kids that are 15 and 16, 2 girls, and they're in the teenage phase. I'll just say that. But man, my goal is I just want them to be successful and happy. Man, how good does it feel to have both of your kids like just launched and having their own lives? You gotta feel good, right?
Oh yeah.
Tell me it takes some pressure off.
Well, but this way, but they do get up to the advantage still. I mean, my son's flat out still. He is just full.
Yeah.
He's doing great.
Comes by it honestly, I suppose. Yeah.
Don't think I'm just dead. No, he's great, but they're all doing very, very well. They're going to do what they want to do. It's simple. As long as they're hopefully going in the right direction, Oh no, it's difficult. They're striking it. Doing it.
I mean, it's just tough. Being a parent, it's not for the weak. We ask everybody this final question, all our guests. It's kind of a legacy question. How do you want to be remembered in the sport? What'd you say to that?
Never give up. Never give up. I mean, I've always tried, and you've always got people around you, and if they see you not giving up, then they're going to try again. That's what you can do. I mean, why, if you're in that, if you go into an event or whatever, if you do anything, and never give up. Just you've got to, if I start, sorry, I'm going to finish it.
Good advice. Well, the fact that you've got a world title to your name, I think says a lot about you there.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be said about it, but yeah. Yeah, okay.
Solid advice. Well, listen, Graham, thanks so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun going through your story. You're a legend in the sport. Somewhere between Ronnie Lachine and Danny Chandler. You kind of fit right in that window.
Yeah, we're fans. They're good guys.
Yeah.
Very much, yeah.
Little heavier accent, but you got a lot of the same traits. So thanks so much for taking the time.
And no problem. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Stick around, everybody. We're going to be back to wrap up the show.
I wanna be bad with you, girl, like we're robbing a bank. I wanna be mad at the world, like it took you away.
All right, guys, welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. I want to thank Graham for taking the time to come in. Definitely didn't have to do that. He made a 2-hour drive down here just to be here. I want to thank MX Vice for letting us use their studio. Super gracious of those guys. And if you guys are looking for GP coverage, that's the spot to go. So check them out. And as always, if you're looking for bikes or gear, chains, tires, any of that stuff, please have a look at our sponsors. Some of them do have discount codes, but we curate who we partner with very carefully. And we only support and promote very premium brands. Anything that we're telling you to try, it's because it is top level, elite level products. And we want to make sure that we continue to keep them here. So support them. And then keep supporting the show, and we'll keep bringing you these. So thank you guys so much for the support. We'll see you next time.
The Whiskey Throttle Show is brought to you by Yamaha. Join the Blue Crew today and take advantage of all that Yamaha has to offer, including amateur racing trackside support, awesome Yamaha contingency, Jason Rain's demos and instructional classes, and frankly, the most high-performing motorcycles available on the market today. Whether you're looking for a 4-stroke, a 2-stroke, a side-by-side, a quad, a boat, a generator, Yamaha prides themselves on absolute top-level quality and reliability. Rev your heart with Yamaha and join the Blue Crew today. Method Race Wheels, bringing you the lightest, strongest, fastest wheels in off-road for your truck, van, sprinter, UTV, or SUV. They've been dominating the Baja 500 and 1000 and every major off-road event around the world for years with high quality and performance. They also look amazing. They come in a bunch of different styles and colors for your rig, so check them out. You can get 20% off a set of wheels using our code Whiskey Throttle. No capitals, no spaces. 20% off using our code. Check them out. Troy Lee Designs is the leader in off-road motocross apparel and style. So whether you're looking for a cool new paint job for your helmet, maybe your name and number on your helmet lettered on, you're looking for new gear, you're looking for mountain bike gear, off-road gear. They've got the brand new Scout line and GP and SE models. Troy Lee Designs has it all. They've been leading this industry for decades, and they're going to continue to do it. Check out TroyLeeDesigns.com. SKDA is a moto graphics and seat covers company with several offices based around the globe. For too long, bikes and graphics have all looked the same. They just start to blend together. SKDA is working to change that. With super clean and unique design work, a bike with SKDA graphics stands out in a crowd and adds a touch of art to the world of moto. Hey, we need that. SKDA prides itself on providing premium customer service both before and after the sale is made. Visit SKDA online to view the current product range and get in touch with their team to get your bike refreshed. I want to just make a mention here that these guys, not only is their design way outside the box, very, very cool. They'll work with you on custom things. The products are incredible. Okay, they'll speak for themselves. But what's really awesome, and you'll notice this the minute you order one of these, man, they give you an email saying, hey, the product's been shipped. Hey, the product is here. It landed in this spot. Hey, it's coming today. Hey, your product's been delivered. They're just so good about staying in touch with you and letting you know where it's at. Customer service is 100%, and that's just something that's rare these days. Check out SKDA. Here at the Whiskey Throttle Show, we're all about supporting brands that support our sport. And there's one tire company that has never walked away from the sport of motocross and supercross, and it's Dunlop. When times got tough and the economy took a crash, Dunlop stepped up and stayed with our sport to support it and the athletes and individuals that love it. Their MX53 line and MX33 lines absolutely dominate this sport. Every national championship at the pro level has been won in the last decade, and nearly every single amateur national championship at Loretta Lynn's has been won on a Dunlop. So if you're looking for high performance, you're looking for amazing quality, and you're looking to support a brand that never turns its back on our sport, there's only one choice for you, and it's Dunlop. Pro Circuit is the leader in aftermarket performance and quality. Whether you're looking for a little more horsepower out of your engine, some quality hard parts to improve the way your bike feels and looks, better handling through suspension or linkage arms, Pro Circuit is where you need to stop. It's your one-stop shop. You can go in there and get everything you need to make your motorcycle go from average to exceptional. Pro Circuit's got enough #1 plates on their wall to side an entire home, and there's a reason for that. They're very, very good at what they do. The highest quality products with one goal in mind, and that's winning. Check out ProCircuit.com. Nihilo Concepts is leading the way in aftermarket hard parts. With their secondary on-switch device, something that was much needed in this sport, they've been innovating and bringing new products to market. Their latest is the new Nihilo Run Cool brake pistons. They're designed to be stronger than stock and provide exceptional cooling performance with less brake drag. Most OEM calipers pistons are made from aluminum that just can't hold up to the heat and extreme demands of serious racing. When they get hot, the aluminum will distort, causing loss of hydraulic pressure and brake failure. Nihilo's Run Cool pistons limit the area that boiling hot hydraulic fluid is able to come in contact with the piston, leaving 2/3 of the piston volume in open air with breather holes to enhance the cooling ability. It's made of a proprietary stainless blend, which is better at dissipating heat. You have issues with brake fade or brake failure, check out Nihilo Concepts among their many amazing hard parts and carbon fiber parts and titanium. NihiloConcepts.com. Seat Concepts is the leader in motorcycle saddles. If you're looking for a new cover or a new seat entirely, Seat Concepts is the place to go. They make custom seat foams catered to your height, weight, riding ability, riding type. They also have waterproof covers and foams that will not break down if you ride in a lot of inclement weather. And they pride themselves on being much more comfortable than OEM or any other aftermarket company. If you're looking for a new seat or a new cover, Seat Concepts, there's nothing better. Need to replace something on your bike that's worn out? Look no further than ProX. These guys aim to make everything OEM quality or better at an affordable price. And they've also got some new products coming. So right now, chains, sprockets, anything inside the engine internally, air filters. If it wears out, ProX makes it, and they make it at a quality level that's OEM or better. And they've got some new things coming that are awesome. A complete engine rebuild kits for the Polaris RZR 800s. Need to replace something on your bike that's worn out? Look no further than ProX. These guys aim to make everything OEM quality or better at an affordable price. And they've also got some new products coming. So right now, chains, sprockets, anything inside the engine internally, air filters. If it wears out, ProX makes it, and they make it at a quality level that's OEM or better. And they've got some new things coming that are awesome. A complete engine rebuild kits for the... If you've got a little Grom that's looking to get started in the motorcycle world, the best way to get them going is on a Stasic bike. They've got multiple sizes, so from your very young Groms to those who are a little more grown up, you can start them safely. They've got controls that allow you to control the speed so he can't get going too quick. They can touch the ground. There's not a lot of noise to distract them. It's the perfect way to get your child involved in motorcycling at a very young age. And if you've got a kid who's already out ripping, there's series popping up all over. For those of you in Southern California, go to www.ameminicross.com and join their local series. If you're outside of this state, contact your local track and ask them about starting a Stasic class at your local track. Get over to Stasic.com and check out all they've got going on. Motul USA, we lean hard on these lubricants to keep us on the track and on the trail. And Motul has proven their quality over and over, most recently with their Dakar win with Ricky Brabeck. They're sponsoring Supercross teams. They're diving into our sport again full throttle, and we're stoked to have them on board. Amazing products, top to bottom. Motul USA, go check them out. And finally, last but not least, Specialized Bicycles. If you are in the market to start pedaling, this is where you want to start. They've got great entry-level bikes all the way up to the Cadillac, the new Levo e-bike, anything in between, man. It doesn't matter what kind of riding you're doing. Go check out and start with Specialized. Don't waste your time on something that's going to break. The derailler's not going to shift after a couple months. Get something quality. These guys make it. Specialized leads that industry.
Thanks for watching and listening to the Whiskey Throttle Show. Be sure to like and subscribe to get notified when new shows go up. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And visit whiskeythrottlemedia.com for additional content.